Hey yo, this is Dr. Trevor Cashy, and I'm going to go over our pyramid of priorities over here at RD, and it's admittedly a stolen and brutally modified version of Maslow's hierarchy, and we all know that goes from the bottom part is a roof over your head to essentially extreme Zen levitation status, and we're going to go over the relentless dietetics version of this pyramid. So sit tight. This pyramid has 5 levels, and I'm going to describe them a bit throughout this talk, and they are shown here on the right side, and it's actually pretty simple. The priority of the level is grossly based off of, the size. So the first part is enough. Are you eating enough food for yourself? Do you have balance? Are you making balanced choices? Are you patterned at all in your eating? And novelty, which is, do you have the capacity to make fancy stuff or eat fancy stuff and know how to include that in your diet properly? And then of course there's complicated stuff, medical conditions, unique lifestyle things, crazy athletic goals, that sort of thing. So the first part of this pyramid is enough. The bottom part's the most important. It's the base. It's really what people should be focusing on the most. And it's really essentially, are you eating enough? And really, enough food is not too much food for you, and enough food is not too little food for you. Enough is enough food for you. And we figure out enough based off of your previous habits. And as you go along this process with us, the amount that is enough for you will change over time, and that's awesome. That's the way it should be. It really is a moving goalpost, and as lifestyle changes and the directions your goals take change, the concept of enough also changes a little bit. Your needs will change as time goes on. The next rung up the pyramid is balance. Are you making balanced choices? For instance, are you eating meals that have more than 2 foods? Is there green stuff? Is there protein in there somewhere? Are you eating like an adult, like how your mama taught you, I guess? And are you, going back to the first rung, are you eating enough? And are you eating enough through simple foods? Makes life easy. And another way to break that down is eating foods that are ingredients rather than foods with ingredients. Next, there's patterns. What milestones and meal opportunities are you utilizing throughout the day? You're probably going to want to eat more than once. There's plenty of times during the day where you can grub 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and a lot of them are based off of transitions. And right, we call this the milestone method. We all wake up, we all go to bed, we all have a break during work, we drive to work, we drive home from work, we drive to the gym, we train, we drive back from the gym. Could probably spout off, 7 to 10 different points in the day where you have a minute where you can consume something. And if you can't eat 3 times a day, well, then we want to look back at how your days are and try and find points that are transition periods where you can fit a meal in. It's all good. You know, do you train? There's a time before and after you train. That's a perfect time to eat. You don't have to eat during those times, but they're just opportunities. What is the structure of your day regarding food? Do you have a habitual or ritualistic way of eating already? Do you already eat more than 2 times a day? That's fine. Just keep rolling with it then. There's no need to change anything. What we like to see is, are you doing it at similar times every day, or at the very least at similar junctures in your day? So even though you may have breakfast every day, the time you have breakfast may change, and that's perfectly fine. It's really just a point in your day. So if you're utilizing these milestones and developing your patterns around these parts of your day, you're winning, because this makes it so your eating schedule does not have to be clock based, right? It is environment based. It's based off of the part of your day, not necessarily the time of your day. And really, this allows you to have your meals set up so that you get the foods you need when you need them based off of what's happening in your day, not necessarily the clock. Next step up is novelty, really. Do you have the skills to eat fancy things and be able to count it in a way that makes sense, right? This is your crappy cauliflower pizza and crazy chocolate chip cookies that don't have chocolate or cookie in them. You know, First, have you mastered the basics of cooking? Do you know how to cook? Right? Do you like the foods that you make when they're simple? If so, then make your life a little more complicated? Are you effective at shopping? Are you effective at managing your pantry? You know, can you find balance with foods that are ingredients before looking to use foods that contain ingredients? Like chicken cacciatore, it's one of my favorite things. It's got like 89 freaking ingredients. I try and avoid making it mostly because I don't have the skills to do it. And if I try to do it, it would stress me out. And who knows what would end up happening with the rest of my day, in particular with how I eat. So I try and keep stress as low as possible and leave that stuff to the professionals. So another joke we'd like to say here is that, we can understand if you get hungry, we all get hungry sometimes, but if your food sucks, that's your fault. And I say that jokingly, of course. It's really just a great opportunity to improve basic human skill of cooking, right? If your chicken tastes bad, would some skills or tools in the kitchen help you improve the quality of your cooking? Probably, and we're here to help you with that too. It's awesome. So if you're not having success with incorporating simple foods in your day on a regular basis, do you think more advanced foods are going to lead to stress and discouragement? Possibly. I like the chicken and rice and olive oil method, mostly because half the population of the earth survives on it. It's something that I can always go to. It's delicious. I can season it certain ways. And if I want to go off the beaten path and try and make something crazy, that's awesome. But I always have this I can go back to. It works every time and it's stress-free for me. The last rung is complicated stuff. Does your lifestyle require unique considerations? Right? Are you in a position to benefit from additional stresses and complications? This may include things like nutrient timing or crazy diet protocols that have to do with maybe some sort of athletic event you're training in, supplements, medications. Are you in a position to benefit from the additional stress that complicated stuff may cause? Because in some cases it does help. But in a lot of cases, if you don't have the background and the basis of all the other things that were previously described, these things are most likely just going to add stress to your life, and that's not anything we want here. So, do you have stressors and complications in your life that need attention? And is this complicated stuff going to help you with that? That could be something like a medical condition, right? In some instances, people do need to have changes to their lifestyle because they have a medical condition that a person who doesn't have it, it would just add stress. So in this case, incorporating certain methods may help you. Make sure to talk to us. And are you eating enough? Are you eating with balance? Are you following patterns? And are you enjoying the foods that you eat? That is 95 or 99% of the battle. All this complicated stuff, really, it's not necessary at all to progress to where you need to be. These are just things that are options, and if all the other stuff is totally bulletproof, then they can definitely be explored if you think it's necessary or if we think it's necessary. So this right here is really just kind of rolling everything back around. We want to keep everything simple, stupid, right? Do you eat enough calories? Do you eat green stuff and protein with your calories? Do you eat similar times per day and similar meals per day? That is the bulk of everything you need to do. Beyond that, can you make some crazy foods and enjoy your life? Awesome. Complicated stuff, don't really need to cover that again. So if you guys have any questions at all, make sure to hit us up. Be more than happy to help you out in any way I can. Thank you so much for listening.